Alex, do you remind me? Are you mainly observing today, providing feedback, or did you have a graph?
Me or Mike?
No, no, sorry, not Alex. Alex, I know you did a graph. I meant Mike. Sorry.
Uh,
I have one. I worked on it last minute yesterday because I got started late. But I have one, but the two versions, none of them really work too well. I
Well, do
had
you
some
want to show
issues.
us one of the versions that is working well?
Sure, sure. Um, share screen, and what does this say? Not section or window. What is not now? Okay, not now. Section or window. Allow. Okay, how about entire screen? Okay, allow.
Okay, one
Can
sec.
you
It's
see?
loading. Not yet. Let me put it up stage. At the stage. Okay, now we can see it.
Okay. Uh, my approach to this, and maybe you can let me know if this is correct or not, because I'm still learning a lot. There wasn't a lot of lines of data, rows.
Yeah.
So I figured there was a couple ways to approach. Well, there's a lot, but for me and my skill level, two ways. Either just make a graph like this, showing high to low of all kinds of different. What happened to the? Let's refresh. Showing highs to low of all different statistics. That's it. So here we got worldwide gross. You can see Avengers is the highest.
Mike,
And
can you zoom in a little bit?
yeah, that's the issue. I
There we
also
go.
wanted to, I wasn't, and you see there's some errors here too, invalid
Yeah.
arguments. So it's it's got some issues.
Well, don't forget,
Uh,
Mike. You can. Oh, this is perfect. This screen size. You should always post on the forum and say, "Hey, this is my graph. This is my Dash app. This is what I built so far. Here's the code. I'm running at this error. Can somebody help me?" Plenty of people are going to jump in and help you.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, I just got started late with
Oh,
this
okay.
this week. I need to get started over the weekend, like on a Saturday, Sunday, and just start working at it a little bit each day.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that. So,
Okay.
but anyways, uh,
So here we're
I just
seeing worldwide
the
income.
gross, how much it gross, the whole
Yeah.
the total gross margin,
Right.
not any, not internet, not domestic or international, but the total.
Both. Okay.
Um, the budget you can see compared to the budget, but then something strange happened when it's using, let's say, look at critic score,
Okay.
and then this really changed. I'm like, why is 96% here, 94? It should have been on the other side, I would imagine. So Eternals has a 47, but it looks the largest. So I
Oh
have
yeah,
some
that
issues
is weird. I wonder if it's
going on.
doing. Is it looking at the score as strings by mistake? No, but it's organized. So I wonder why it's doing that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if it's visual, maybe it's using this bar, right? But it can't. It's got to be this bar right here, the horizontal orange bar. That's how I wrote the code, you know. So,
It
anyways,
could
I'll
be
work
that
on.
it's looking at the data as strings, and that's why instead of numbers that it can order and sort.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Okay.
key errors,
But
probably.
but from what we see here, Hack the Black Panther is the highest score with 96.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wait. Iron Man. Whoa, wow. Avengers Endgame. Why is Iron Man here?
Maybe it's
Black
you can't
Panther.
see it.
We're missing one here in Black Panther. Wow. So yeah, Iron Man 94%, Avengers 94%, Endgame, they're equal. You can see them visually, they look equal too.
How
And,
much is
and the bar is
Spider
correct.
Spider Man?
I tried, reversing, ascending, descending, all that, so I have to work with it still.
Oh look, the film Thor is not supposed to be there. No, go all the way down next to right above Endgame. Above, go a little bit
Mhm.
up, a little bit up. Yeah, you see Thor below Spider. There's Thor. No, go down a little bit. No, okay.
Spider,
One more down. Thor.
Thor, yes,
So
yeah.
maybe not all the names are there. You have to make the height of the graph a little bit bigger because not all the names are present. They're present in the graph in the traces, but not in the label.
Yeah. So
In that case, all you have
There's,
to go is into the graph and do height equals like 750, and that should solve it.
yeah, that's what I tried to. And I was trying to just the bars were super tiny at the beginning. I was trying to make them bigger. Now, if I can exit this and then go into this one. This is another one where this went into the diff. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I always see everything.
So this one is using Plotly graph objects as
Yeah.
Go. This it's added this as opposed to
Okay.
the first one, just Plotly Express.
Oh. Wait, you built this with AI or you built this yourself?
Yeah, no, I'd use ChatGPT, of course. I'm
Okay.
not capable. I can read the code, understand it, but there's too many parts right now, especially with the HTML, CSS. I don't have
Yeah.
HTML, CSS skills, so I need help with that, first of all.
Okay.
But when I changed over, the whole look changed again. I was looking for 3 different drop downs, and sometimes where you can filter.
Okay.
So you can say that maybe the budget or something, and then you can add another one, Black Panther series. You want to just look at those,
Oh, okay. Nice.
or if you want to look at the years, a specific year, kind of. So it's just multiple filters. It's super simple. It should be, but for my skill level, I have to work out a little bit longer to get it correct.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I like
This one
how
is a little much easier to read, I think, at least because it's wider.
It's bigger. Yeah, it's easier to see the labels and everything. Does this one work with the critics?
Let's see, worldwide gross. 1 second. Worldwide gross. Here it is. Thor. You can see it. Captain America, Incredible Hulk, Ant-Man. So you can see, I guess, all of them now.
Yeah. Ant-Man wasn't a good movie. I can tell you that.
Yeah. And then let's look at the audience score. Okay. And the same thing, though. You see 96, 94. So I have to work on that.
Doing the reverse. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, I'm telling you, these are for somebody that's just starting out. These are pretty nice graphs and drop downs you put together with the help of AI. Now it's just really just trying to focus on fixing those bugs.
Yeah, it just you have to go at them every once in a while, and I need more time. That's all. So next week I'll start earlier, and now also just if I could ask your opinion, my approach to this, as I said, there's two ways I was thinking. These, which are just highest, lowest, top down, just a ranking, and the other one I was thinking was also doing just a card. You can pick any one single movie, and then it like groups the revenue numbers, groups the critic numbers, just a big card. Is that also okay? You think
What
a
do you
good
think,
strategy?
Alex? What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna be suspect because I like it to use the card a lot. I use the card because the card for me is easier to group and show a lot of information. If you, I use only a bar chart is only to show when we have, for instance, 5 or 10, for instance, the main worldwide movies around the world that earn money. Well, the only the 5. Why? Because in this case, for instance, we have 35 films.
Yeah.
So if you want to put it in just one single chart, is too much. For me, I like it better 5 and use the card, a combination.
Nice. That's a good point.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, makes sense.
Yes.
That's a good point.
In fact, as you say, maybe you can put the card like categories: Avenger, the Unique, the Black Panther, click on the data as you mentioned, and you will see the all the display. on the screen all the data about this movie. For instance, is all the series or the
Yeah.
category in this case, Avengers. They are splitting or they are collocated in category Avenger,
Yeah.
Iron Man.
I would use the cards as well as summarizing, and I would also like Alex said, Mike, I would limit a bar chart or a histogram to five, maximum seven, eight markers because beyond that, it's just uh, it's a lot of information. Now, people might want to see, well, I want because that will usually mean like the top five or top seven. Maybe they want to see who's in the middle. Maybe they want to see who's at the end. Well, you can either do like a radio button control that's connected to the bar chart, and the radio button can be like top, middle, or bottom, and then they can filter between and choose. Or you can just say you can put an input field there with numbers, and they can choose how many do you want to see. The minimum will be one, and the maximum will be the maximum amount of movies, which is like I say 34,
Yeah.
35. If they change it to 35, okay, they'll see all 35. If they want to see only 15 or only 10, they'll see only 10. So you give them the option to do what they want, but you give what you think is best practice visualization wise, and you give like the top five by default, and then they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. All right, Mike. Thank you for showing us your dashboard. Pretty cool. Um,
And the ironic part, I should have worked earlier on this one. The ironic part was I'm a car guy. I love car statistics and data. I'm always doing transportation and car statistics. The registrations one caught my attention a number of
TLC.
weeks back. I really wanted to do that, but I just didn't do it because my wife is saying, "Well, why don't you do movies or something like normal people do?" And so we had this one this week, and
No, you do you. And now, Mike. First of all, two things. If I'm always looking for data sets. If you find an interesting data set, F1, car competition, race car competition. If you find any interesting data set, public data set about cars, give it to me. Like sales, models, whatever. Give it to me, and we already did sales, and I'll try to do that. Second thing is, Poly Studio just came out. So I would highly recommend you sign up to the early access list, where in a few weeks, months, I'm not sure, we'll give you access to that so you can test it out and you can try it out because it's pretty much what you were trying to do with ChatGPT. You're going to use Poly Studio, you're going to use the AI, you're going to tell it, here's my data set, try to build a dashboard, however you know best, or you give it the criteria and they'll build a dashboard for you. So I would definitely sign up to the early access list. Okay. Alex, you have something cool here. Do you want to show us?
Yeah, okay, but I need your help.
Okay, let me
Need your
share
help.
screen.
So yes, because here is still
Okay, it's loading. 1 second. Oh, it loaded fast. Cool. All right, so we see it. You see it?
yes, yes. Well, basically here, uh, I take advantage of a format I was working with in an event, a challenge that I participated, but with Pixar films. So I take advantage of that, all this information and all the whole work that I did with that, and did it the same way. Even the
The
use I
theme?
use the same exactly. I use the same template. Well,
Nice.
basically, what we have here, what I did first. What I like always to do is I make clusters. But the first thing I made the cluster was using k-means, and I see, well, I compare, I made some exercise to try to cluster movies and specifically see what are the characteristics for these movies. At the beginning, I use Cummings alone, and I see that, oh no, I didn't like it so much, so I used a method called silhouette score, and also a elbow method to see exactly what was the best the ideal cluster that we can see and separate the films in group in clusters.
Okay.
Okay, at the end of the day, I restarted doing what I did. I did first, I think, well, I'm gonna do a PCA, a dimensional reduction to group all the characteristics of the features of these movies in just one in PCA, reduce to PCA and see in a graph, in a chart. Unfortunately, I can compare here because I don't have my laptop working. But to see exactly using basically EDA, exploring with Matplotlib and Seaborn to see what is the best option. And I noticed that using PCA first and then clusters was better than cluster alone. And
Okay.
this it is what I did. I did PCA, and after PCA, I get better clusters. In this case, I obtained these four clusters, even though the silhouette score was closer to zero point 0.5. The silhouette cluster is a metric that helps to see is what how many the clusters that the algorithm selected is they are very differentiated from each other.
Okay.
In this case, closer to one is more is the ideal, but with real data it is very difficult for as far as I know. At least that you are using the data set from it is a data set from scikit-learn that is from the penguins. I think that is very well clusterized. Well,
So, Alex,
then
the clusters are they also visible here? Like, what are we seeing in this graph?
well, we see first. Please go to the first. What we have seen in this in here, the first one, the first. Okay, the card define what each cluster is. Then, well, based on this all the method that I did stuff, well, I selected four clusters. The four clusters are here. The number one, each card is a summary of each cluster. Consistent solid performer are 17 films. Average growth, they show all the characteristics for each film. Based on that cluster, I made the other chart, basically. And based on the characteristics of one of these, I name it based on that. And if you can see here, for instance, the chart that Adam is profits, a critical score against profit. Each cluster is colored by global blockbuster powerhouses, for instance, it's a color, and you can see the differentiation here. For instance, here, if you see the underperforming, is is one movie that I remember is Captain Marvel, that is between each consistent solid performer and underperforming. So this is the reason why I selected the silhouette score. Then basically, well, and then I like it to do, I wanted to do all the comparison using the clusters to see exactly
Nice.
what were the whole these characteristics how defined. And you can see, for instance, in box office trends, clearly the name selected, clearly you can see the differences are where are the movies and the year of the what the movies were developed or launched.
Nice.
Then I use a worldwide budget recovery, profit analysis. In performance metrics is the same, but in this case using the name and also with the cluster, the movies, the name of the movie, and you can see also a clear trend. You can see exactly uh, uh, how it is. No? Well. the opening, also the opening weekend, the profit analysis. At the end, the timeline to see exactly how which exactly this movie based on the cluster where they
Oh,
launched.
well, Alex, a lot of the global blockbusters, the powerhouses, happened between 2018 and 2021.
Exactly, exactly. And if you look at the underdog, the underperforming underdog, were launched in 2020, 21, 20, from 22 on here. The last one was Captain America Brand New World.
Yeah.
Then
And what's the
and
random forest, random fact, or random fact there?
mm,
Oh, okay, got it.
no. Here I use PCA and cluster with the and that's it. I didn't use in this just a random forest or I didn't use random forest because the data the sample data is too small.
Okay,
So
okay.
well, yeah, at the end I put always a Marvel trivia so just gaming. No.
Very nice, Alex. I especially like the theme and the style that you used. And if people wanted to look into the clustering method, they can just go into the code. This one
Well,
right.
here here is not exactly the whole process. Here is a cluster I use, but just well defined. The definition or how I define is in the other. Here is the number. I mean the last part, no? Not the first part where I did all the work. But if you can, I can share it in the community the
Yeah.
code, the
Yes,
whole
please.
code. Okay, I can do the whole code with the it's a Jupyter notebook. I can put it in a
Yeah. Cool,
but
Alex.
basically, it's
Thank
what
you.
it is. I always wanted to do some this type of data analysis, data science, is clusterizing. I think that is better indication about the better insight we can
Really cool.
uh,
It's an
find with this.
interesting method to cluster that instead of doing just plain data analysis on the data that we have, first you cluster the data, group them, um, and then show the visualization based on those groupings and how accurate that might be. Pretty unique. Very good, Alex. Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you. In fact, if this is after this technique, using this with cluster and PCA a cluster,
Yeah.
then, for instance, you can play. Imagine that you are a film producer and you have a budget that you can take some insight from this, and maybe you can I don't know use random forest for predicting if I have this budget, yeah, and with this type of what type of movie I want to make and how will be the the return, the ROI. That's the idea.
Nice. All right. Alex,
Yeah,
thank you
can I
so
say something?
much. Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you.
Mike?
Yeah, this is a very wonderful way of presenting. It's instantly
Thank you.
understood
Yeah.
with the
Thank you.
four charts. And what's really cool is uh, you can immediately see like the purple one. It's not in the group. You let the user see why and what parameter it's an outlier in that group, let's say, or why it crosses over into two groups. It's all clearly, quickly visible.
Thank you. That's the idea. That's the idea of cluster. That's the idea of this time of analysis before doing this type of dash or dash.
Thank you for the feedback, Mike. Great
Thank you.
job, Alex. All
Thank
right.
you, Alan. Thank you for the feedback.
Austin, did you want to share anything or just mainly observe today? Wait, Austin, your microphone, you're not on mute, but your microphone is not working. Nothing?
Can you
Wait
hear me?
one second.
Is this better?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'd have to switch it. Yeah. No, I thought you did a really good job. I love the sketch style. That's my favorite. I think it's a good bootstrap one. Yeah. I created this one in about I don't know, 20 minutes. I didn't give it too much effort. I could tell that yours was actually thought through. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to. I was throwing in the chat, and they were talking about it, and they're kind of using the UI UX MD file that I created. So I just wanted to show how I use Claude to just create a rough draft and main time components, because that's like one of my favorite libraries within the Dash open source community. But yeah, it's it's a cool little project, and I think it did a pretty good job for just one shot. This was a one shot attempt.
Oh, so
Where
Austin, you didn't need to actually go back and say, "Can you please fix this or update this?"
No, there was only two things that it messed up on. There was one text where it basically provided an icon within the text, and then it was using dash.run server instead of dash.run. So it was just using 18, dash 18. But other than those two issues, it ran completely on one shot.
And when
So
you
it
say
was,
ran, you mean it like it gave you the whole code, and then you took the code and plugged it into your locally to your computer or PyCharm, and then or VS Code, and then you ran it, right?
yeah, without any errors. So
And what is this a two? If there's two pictures, see two images. Is this a 2-page Dash app or 2 tabs?
I could show it. I have it up if you want.
Sure.
Real quick. I'll take 2 seconds.
What cloud model do you use?
I use Claude 3 point or no Claude 4 Opus.
Okay.
Yeah. So this
Perfect.
was it has light and dark mode, which I specified in the prompt, and I gave the prompt in the description. It didn't do this one perfectly, like these aren't colored. But I just kind of wanted to see like what it could do in one shot. So the cool thing that these all worked like right out the bat, like these filter, and then like if I do spider or whatever, it will filter. So it did do a lot for it just right out of the box. But really, all I was trying to do is show the capabilities of the MD file I created in regards of like just setting up proper prompting practices. So like what I did is I created this download for a Claude file, and it's just a long text file. I don't know if I have it. Yeah, it's kind of like this. So it's a long file which just basically gives AI directives on how to do certain things, and then it goes over like key metric or key things to look at for UI UX design. So this is what I gave it, and then that was the result that I had with it.
Wait, but this is Dashman. The title of this file is Dash Mantine UI UX guide. So you downloaded somewhere, or you wrote all of this?
No, yeah, I wrote it. If I could find it, one second, one more time. So this is the link. I have a post in the forum about it, but if you click on this, you'll download the same thing that I used, and then I just dropped this into Claude, and it's an MD file. And it's basically all those pages that I showed you where it gives AI directives, and then it gives all the prop types in relation to Dash main time components. And it allowed me to have the result that I had with building this. But one of the things I noticed when building with AI and, any of the AI ones is just it does a really good job, but it doesn't fully understand the prop names, or it doesn't fully understand like the component names. So just directly giving it directives and partnering it with like best practices with UI UX design, I've just been able to see really good results on creating stuff. What I'd recommend is don't go for the full application on the first run, but initially, if you're trying to create an idea of like what the application could look like, then just prompt it specifically for UI UX, and don't focus on the implementation, all the other aspects on the first run, but then on later iterations and other requests that you make to the AI, then you could start, fleshing out, the callbacks and the other functions that will be needed, to build it out.
Yeah.
So.
Really cool, Austin. Always going through new frontiers. Awesome. And thank you for sharing on the forum.
Yeah, that's interesting, because that's the issue that I always have is going too fast, too far, one step at a time, and then something breaks, then you get errors and you got to resolve them. But that's interesting that you said feed it all the information first, the directives, and then give a better result. That's interesting. Yeah, project knowledge goes a long way, and just structuring and these are all new tools. So you're just trying to figure out the best way to work with them. But that's what I've been kind of experimenting with.
Very nice. Any new components on the horizon for the pip install components?
There's two. There's a few.
Are you going to give us a sneak peek, or is this a secret?
One I'm waiting for.
We are live. You have to know that, Austin. So
Yeah, I do. I know. I might be able to show one, but it's a D&D kit. I don't know if you guys know that. But basically it allows you to. Oh, here you go. I have a quick run I could do for you. All right, I'm loading it up. All right, so you're gonna like this, but this is a sneak peek. There's a few things that I've been working on, but just to give you one. Okay, you are sharing.
I'm sharing screen right now.
Cool, thank you. All right, so yeah, what you have here is it's a way for you to set up bases, and you can change like how you want these to render, but like grid mode or vertical, and then you can allow the trash method. So if you wanted to get rid of something, you can get rid of it. And then you go vertical, but then you could like move stuff in between bases. And then as you can see over here, it reflects. So base 2 only has one, where the other ones have, so if I get rid of this, then there will be none in base 2. But yeah, just it's an interactive component that allows you to move stuff around and be able to, create new containers and items within the containers, and then show, what they can do.
Really cool. This is ready, or you still have to publish it to PyPI?
Still have to publish it. It's ready. I just there's so much in the D&D kit that I might want to build it out further. But I would suggest looking into D&D kit. It's a really cool React component, so it'd be really cool to support it. But it's basically drag features and components that focus on the drag and drop functionality.
Awesome. Good luck, Austin.
Thank you.
All right, so we are also, this was a Figure Friday week 22. There are more visualizations and apps created by community members. So I would just recommend going to the post and checking them out, because not everybody was able to be here today. I'm going to share in the main comments section. There we go. And I am going to release in a few minutes, probably about half an hour, I'm going to release the next Figure Friday dataset for week 23. And that is going to be on, a survey that ABC News and 538 initiative that we had a few years ago of people across the country about their steak preferences, cigarette smoking, and a few other risk-related questions. So we can see some analysis together with, I think, budget or income and household. So just I liked it because it's something different we haven't done yet. It's surveying people, so this are like, it could be our neighbors, could be our friends from across the country several years ago, and it's small, so it's really good for playing around with Plotly when you only have a week, and Dash apps to build something beautiful around it. So I hope you'll enjoy it. I'm going to release that in about 30 minutes. And other than that, that's it. Thank you so much for joining. I will be in Databricks AI Summit next week. We will have a San Francisco Summit. So if for any reason you are here or you are there, or anybody listening to this live stream is going to be in San Francisco, please join our San Francisco Plotly meetup. And a week later or 2 weeks later, we have our Plotly Hangout with a community member who is a data scientist, climate scientists. Going to talk to us about climate change, and talk to us about how he uses Plotly in the world of climate science. Pretty interesting, especially in North America. So sign up the link will be out next week. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Have a good weekend for you.
Nice seeing you. You too. Bye.
Bye.